Hello folks, welcome to OTD, also known as On the Deck, where you can get all the sports you need in 10 minutes. My name is Adam Orduna. This is my mom, Gina.
He's a journalist?
He's the enthusiast.
Oh, I'm enthusiastic. We finally get to some good NBA basketball.
We have NBA talk this whole episode. We're really excited because now it's the NBA playoffs, and there's some really good matchups. So I'm going to go ahead and list off 1 through 8 in the East and 1 through 8 in the West.
Perfect.
And then I'll let you finish the bottom half of both sides.
Oh, there. I get the bottoms.
So we've got the East, we got the Celtics, we've got the Cavs, we have the Raptors, we have the Wizards, we have the Hawks, we have the Milwaukee Bucks, Indiana Pacers, and then Chicago Bulls. That's all of the East.
That's 1 through 8.
And then 1 through 8 as far as the West goes, we got the Warriors, we have the San Antonio Spurs, we have the Houston Rockets, the Clippers, the Utah Jazz, the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Memphis Grizzlies, and then Portland Trailblazers. Well, so that's what I want to.
Those are the teams that actually made it. Well, I'll stay on the West, and then you got 9 through 15 because there are 15 teams on both sides. Number 9 is the Denver Nuggets, 10 is the New Orleans Pelicans, 11 is the Dallas Mavericks, who I'll talk about them later. 12 is Sacramento Kings, 13 Minnesota Timberwolves, and the 14th spot is our Lakers, and the 15th spot rounding out the bottom is Phoenix Suns. And on the Eastern side, 9 through 15, the Heat just missed out, heartbreaker. At number 9. Number 10 are the Pistons, 11 Charlotte Hornets, number 12 is the New York Knicks, 13 Orlando Magic, 14 are the 76ers, and then 15th at the bottom of the East are the New Jersey Nets. Now you know you got to be bad to finish at the bottom of the West.
Yep, the West, the weak East as we like to call them. Yes, exactly. So do you want to talk about the East first or the West?
Let's talk about the West first.
Okay, great. Well, the 1 through 8 matchup, that will be tough. Golden State and Portland. Portland's got a really strong guard game. CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard, those guys are very lethal. They can get after you. They can shoot the lights out. Lillard just put up 59 points the other night. CJ McCollum can stroke. They've got some really good players. I'm interested in that matchup because I do think they can challenge Golden State. Now, I do think Golden State obviously is a better team top to bottom, but Portland is a good team, and they have been a team to be reckoned with these last couple years. And so I just think that they're not consistent enough to be able to keep up with Golden State. And overall, top to bottom, I think Golden State's going to get that one. As far as the 2 through 8 or 2 through 7, that's the Spurs and the Grizzlies. Geriatric ball, old school. It's going to be slow, ground and pound. San Antonio should win that one. Then you got the Rockets and the Thunder. 2 great matchups, MVP matchup, James Harden and Russell Westbrook. That's going to be high flying, fast paced. That's going to be one to watch. Mark your calendars. And then you got the Clippers and the Jazz. That's going to be another good matchup because both of those teams are really good. Actually, the Jazz, that's a team that, you know, a couple years ago you're like, man, they're terrible, but they've been really good this season. And the Clippers have their own worst enemy is themselves. So that's a pretty good breakdown from 1 through 8 as far as the West goes. So I'm excited.
Well, on my picks on that, I go also with Golden State over Portland. I do agree it'll be good games, but Portland will not outlast Golden State. The Spurs and the Grizzlies, who cares? I'm going to pick the Spurs, but really, who cares? The Clippers and the Jazz, I think, is interesting because the Clippers have a beautiful way of snatching defeat out of the jaws of victory. No matter what they're doing, and I love them to death. Your sister's favorite team, Blake Griffin, she wants to marry him, all that. The Clippers, I have to actually pick the Jazz on that. I'm sorry, Clippers. But the one I'm interested in is the 3 versus the 6 matchup because you have your 2 MVP candidates in James Harden and Russell Westbrook. I think it'll be a slugfest, and I'm going to say this. I think the Thunder might win, and I think it'll be winning on the back of Russell Westbrook. I think he will give everything he has, and they'll get bounced in the second round.
I can't disagree with you more on that one. So that I meant to say agree with you more on that one. I was trying to say I don't disagree.
Well, who did you pick? Did you pick Houston or
I actually didn't really pick. I just gave my own breakdown.
Oh, my bad.
But yeah.
Well, I'm picking.
Yes. I was going to say I agree with you more on that one because I do think that the roster is better for the Rockets, but I definitely think that they do have some inconsistency there. So we will see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Okay, let's go to the East here. We've got the Celtics and the Bulls. That's kind of a classic matchup.
Yeah, it is.
Kind of the 80s, early 90s matchup there. And then we have the Cavs and then the Indiana Pacers. Paul George and LeBron James, that'll be a fun matchup, but I just think the Cavs are going to be just a little bit too much for them to handle. And clearly you have the Milwaukee Bucks. That's a young team right there against the Toronto Raptors.
Another young team.
If the Raptors handle the Bucks like they should, that would be a good win for them moving forward. And then you do have Atlanta and the Wizards, the Atlanta Hawks and the Washington Wizards. That will be another good matchup. They're basically similar teams, but I would have to say that the Wizards right now are playing better ball than the Hawks. So we will see what happens there. All still pretty good matchups, but As you can see, we call them the West because those teams just don't have the same firepower as what the West has.
That's West meaning weak East.
Yes.
Well, I'll go back through and actually make my picks. I don't know if you want to.
Yes.
The Celtics and the Bulls, I think that could be tricky. The Celtics are sitting in the #1 spot, which Cleveland basically handed to them. But the Bulls are playing well. Jimmy Butler, you're going to get our boy, your cousin Dwayne Wade back. Yeah. I think the problem is both of those teams, to me, have been inconsistent. The Bulls more so than the Celtics.
Yes.
But in a 7-game series, you got to know who's able to pull it out in the end. So I think I'm just going to err on the side of Celtics. With the Pacers and the Cavs, this is a Cavalier win, and I don't think they're going to sweep them, though.
No,
I don't think they're going to sweep them, but I don't think the Pacers are going to be able to give them much.
Have enough,
No, they just don't have enough. And with the Raptors and the Hawks, I'm not going to be on. Or I'm sorry, the Raptors and the Milwaukee Bucks, I don't care.
Yeah.
Really. The Toronto Raptors, I'll just, they've been playing good, but so have the Bucks. I think it's a toss-up. I'll just say Bucks just for the sake of it. The Washington Wizards and the Atlanta Hawks, that's a really good matchup. Yep. The Wizards have been able to give the Cavs a handful. They're on the same side of the draw right now, But the Wizards, that's a low-key, really
that's a good team.
sleeper good
some guys
team.
On that, John Wall, Bradley Beal,
and I love Atlanta. I love the Hawks, but I'm calling the Wizards on that.
That'll be that's going to be a really good matchup.
It will be a good matchup. Well, go do your picks now. You did no picks.
No, I mean I did. I think the Celtics and the Bulls are going to be a good matchup. I would like to pick the Bulls, but I just kind of feel like I don't know. But I may go with the Bulls on the upset there. Pacers and Cavs.
In a
Cavs,
7-game series.
Yes, and then we've got the Bucks and the Raptors. I think the Raptors are a better team top to bottom, even though I love Jason Kidd as a coach. And I see them probably taking over, so I'm going to go with the Raptors. And then the Wizards and Hawks, I do think it's going to be the Wizards. And then as far as the West goes, Golden State, like I said, then I will go with San Antonio. I will pick the Thunder, as we said, and I am going to go with the Clippers just because it's Doc, it's Blake Griffin, it's Paul Pierce is on the team.
CP3.
Chris Paul. Yes, Jamal Crawford. They got a lot of guys there, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, isn't Little Rivers still on the team,
Austin Rivers is there. He is there. So,
listen, and I love the Clippers. Don't get me wrong. If Golden State wasn't good right now, Clippers would be my team.
Yes.
But they have found a way to always lose in the playoffs. And they just,
for everyone else that did make it, just better luck next year. Hopefully, you guys can work in the offseason, and we'll see what happens. It is hot out here.
It is actually hot. And I don't know if you guys can see the bees dive bombing us.
Yes, the iPad has overheated. So
we can't do the music. We got to just get out.
Music, but we just want to say we appreciate your time. We got much more on the NBA playoffs.
Let's go playoff. They start Saturday, so let's go.
So stay tuned, stay watching, and we'll see you next time, folks.